whatever it is, whether it's up to standard or not, from this week onwards, I want you guys to move on to chapter 1 and 3 already. Lah. If it's not good, then it's not good.
Okay.
We cannot help already, okay? I mean, like, it's wasting too much time, you know? You guys started late and then you don't give me the work that I kind of want. So you just be prepared for results that are not so good, lah, honestly speaking. Lah, huh? I mean, like, from the way I see this, it's like, let me have a look. I mean, like, you will know lah, by the time you reach chapter 1 and 3, if your literature review is not done properly, you literally will have a lot of issues. Like, you don't know what to write in chapter 1, you see. So I let you guys test it, lah, you know, go and taste it, lah, you know, because I keep on saying that, you know, you have to do me a good literature review, and you just don't produce that kind of work, then you will feel like when you write chapter 1 and 3, you have no direction, you see. And then it's the urgency of it now. It's not me, you know, who is pushing you guys. It's that Larry will set a time for FYP presentation and set a time for handing in of this thing. So I cannot say that, oh, you guys can delay, you know, it's just not possible, you see. I also mentioned that after every section, you should mention what is your conclusion for the upper section, and then what are you coming up, what do you get from the upper section? You know, it's like, what is your thoughts on it, you know? And then after that, what is the following section about, you see, the impact. So here also it's like, you don't link them together again, you see. Like COVID as a disaster, 2.2.1, COVID as a disaster, then 2.2, like the whole 2.2 COVID, you know, it's like, there should be a summary of some sort here, okay? Summary of some sort here. It's not really like, you don't have to put a separate section, say summary, but it has to be a summary, you know, a paragraph or something like that, that brings you to the next section, you see. Everything here, everything in the literature review should flow.
Okay. For the 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, we need like a summary part.
They must flow from one section to the other section. If it does flow, then that is your problem already, you know, like, I cannot keep on saying that, oh, you must flow, and you just don't do it. And I give you marks for not flowing, you see. So I cannot give you marks when it's not flowing, you see. Like, as a supervisor, I've already advised many, many times what I want, you see. And then it's really, I cannot write this for you guys, but you have to write it yourself. So if you cannot reach a certain standard, then you cannot reach a certain standard law, obviously, then there's a problem here, you see. I mean, like, I can see that, you know, unless there's a miracle coming up in the next 3 weeks, I don't foresee you will get a B+ and above, honestly speaking, here. I mean, you'll be lucky if you can pass already, actually. So you say that 2.4 is what? Impact of COVID-19 in Malaysia. And then you have impact in construction industry. Costs. So this is on cost already.
Oh, cost is not under. Is it better if I put it under financial?
Because it's just a certain jump, because I was expecting more on time, you see. And then suddenly there's a jump into cost here, which is fine to be here, but like I said, it's not enough lah. I mean, the way that this is written is still like very, very surface touch and go kind of way of writing here. No detail at all. It's like no detail, and then the thing that you talk about is like jump from one thing to the other thing, you see. I mean, like there's no such thing as like you finish talking about one thing in depth, you know, and then flow on to the other thing, then talk about it in depth, you see. So like here you say that generally it brought the building sectors to a halt, you see, and then you know, I mean, I don't get anything out of this particular section. And then here you say the timeline. It's like, okay, first you talk about MCO client handed over the project late. Handing over of the project to the client. Okay. Late handing over. MCO has delayed the handing over of project to client. And then why don't you expand on handing over, you see? What is it that handing over? I mean, like anything that is related to handing over from client. So there will be a delay in possession of site. There is delay in everything. So the project cannot start. Even this long handing over can write like one paragraph, you see. And then you mix it in with delay in material, business halting because it's not doing anything. So what is that got to do with handing over to the client? You know, it's handing over of project to the client. So delay lah in handing over lah.
Yeah. This is more towards the delay.
Delay in the contractors handing over, finishing the project. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like I said, you know, I read it, I just feel like I don't get anything out of it. Touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. It's like, then so what do you get out of it? Okay, there's a delay. We all know that, okay? So what causes the delay? We don't know. You see, so what about the project being, first of all, project that cannot be handed over because of MCO? That's one thing. You can talk a lot about that. And the project that is already ongoing, what is going on here? I mean, depending on how you speak, like you should have that kind of sense, you know, to really talk about it properly before you move on to the other item. And then also there's one whole paragraph that you can talk about manufacturing affecting the material supply, and then delay caused by what else, you know? It's like one reason, each and every one of the reason you talk about it in one paragraph. That is what I would like to see, you see? Yeah. Then after that, okay, so there's 2 points. There's only 2 points here. Okay, there's a delay. Okay, it's because of authority-less approval. There's 2 things here only, okay? But this delay is like, this delay is just very general, very overall. You get what I mean, An? And then you jump to cost, and then cost also you talk about it in one paragraph. It's like, oh wow, you know, it's like you really have nothing to talk about. That shows how poor the literature review is being carried out. It shows us that you don't really go and read enough of information, read enough of things to properly carry out a literature review that is full of information, you see. So up until this whole paragraph, up until here, what is it about? I mean, like, it's just very general. And then, just say that COVID is construction technical impact. So everybody has to start to have a new normal. then using of technology. That's all. Oh, I don't know what is this all about. Contractually, okay. I don't know. This is pretty redundant. It's like. Got nothing to say, lah. Honestly, I cannot say anymore. I mean, it's like there's something wrong with you and me. It's like I cannot get through to you. It's not construction technical. Technical is not about just using technology and everybody have to go online. That is. Even if it is, then there should be a lot of things to write about. What is the consequences of when people cannot go to site and do supervision work, you see? Like this, cannot, it's like I can't even get you to write your chapter 1 and 3, if this is going to be like this. You don't want to stay another semester to do this properly. I mean, this is really, really ridiculous, honestly. Yeah, you see, 4 paragraphs. These are the major thing you're writing about, and then you're talking about nothing. You're talking about nothing. She's talking about generally there's a contract form, we're using like NEC. I mean, it's like where FIDIC form, it's like, yes, so what did you get out of it? So I ask you lah.
On the impact part, I'm still writing it lah, and I wrote until logistic part lah. So I'm actually still in the process of writing the impact part.
This is week 12 already, Do you know that this is week 12 already? In 2 more weeks, you have to hand in this already. You cannot be always in progress. You haven't even finished your whole section on. You haven't even finished your whole section. I mean, like, honestly, from a student like yourself, who is, I believe, is a good student, okay, should be one of the few better ones in this batch. Oh, I could be wrong, but you realize that you've only given me 14 pages of literature review up to week 12. That means you haven't even been able to produce even like more than 1 page per week. You know how weak that is? And you haven't even write a whole section of previous research as well. Is the issue here, can I know?
I think would be, I don't know, maybe other projects that are quite overwhelming.
So you're going to flip, you're going to totally flip lah, correct?
No, I'll try my best to get it back on track.
Seriously, even up to each impact, you should be telling me one thing at a time properly. Like we talk about workforce, we talk about workforce. Fully talk about workforce and how to impact industry. And workforce inside there, you can even talk about it from local workforce perspective, from international workforce perspective. That one alone, you can, if properly written, can be even 2 pages. Just on workforce, not on workforce. And then if you talk about resources, material, if you want to move things like manufacturing, not producing, and all that, many countries having shutdowns, and it's not producing, so we have a lot of issues with shortage of material. That alone can also be another 1 or 2 paragraphs. And it's resources, you see. And of course, the movement control order in itself is to allow people to go to site. There's basically the machine needs to be operated by people. It cannot run by itself, in construction site. It's a very heavily ridden machinery. Even if you can get workers to work on site, there's nobody to drive the machines, you see. So basically, that really brings in the impact of shortage in resources. You didn't even cover that, properly in each section. In each part. Like resources, you see your resources. You already write the most in resources. Okay, so first paragraph is very general. So second paragraph is construction labor. Not enough lah. You like I said, touch and go lah.
Is it like if let's say detail means I might need to break down even more?
Of course. You have to break down, because this is a literature review. This is like, it shows that, you read enough of literature. By doing a summary of everything you read, it's not what you do in the literature review, you see. You have to be detailed. I think you have to express each of these points from different authors' perspective. It's good to have data that because of limited workers. And then first here you've got limited workers. So basically during the MCO means that this worker totally cannot even come to work. That's one thing. And then after that, when it's more released, there is a social distancing whereby there cannot be too many workers in the space. That one alone, you can even write like, point by point now, you get what I mean? Not just like throw everything in one paragraph, and that's it, the question is after you read your own literature review on this impact, is it that you're going to do in this research? I still cannot get it, Do you get it? After you read this literature review, you and you especially yourself, you should have a very clear direction already. I want to do what, So what is your direction? Can you tell me?
Previously, it's more on the progress, then
Part of the literature review show you that you need to study the progress. Then we still with progress. Like what I know on top of our head from the newspaper, from the online thing about whatever. It doesn't count one, It has to be from proper research one. There must be data to prove that you need to do this research. So you want to do progress. So that means there is a problem with progress. But here, in the literature review, especially the impact, I don't get to see that, there's a reason for progress, like problem. Where is a progress problem? If your progress is like, okay, you should tell us the numbers of projects that has been delayed. There is statistics saying that, so many projects has not received payment. You know, the progress has been delayed. You know, there was a lot of projects that cannot be handed over. So you must bring up all these issues and problems, you know, in a very serious manner. Like, you know, you tell your audience this is really, really bad, you know. And then these are what are the causes of this delay in progress, you know, that you maybe then you can bring down the impact part as well. You see, there's no flaw. That's why I say, okay, up to the part that we talk about impact in the construction industry. What does all this tell you? You see, impact in the construction industry. Okay, construction management impact. What does this tell you? Does it tell you that there's a problem, issues with progress? Technical impact, does it tell you that there's a problem with progress? Does this tell you that there's a problem with progress? Which part of it tells you that there's a really strong problem with progress? Instead, all of this will have a problem with progress, you see?
But I can see mostly it correlates to delay lah.
So this will create delays, correct or not?
Mm-hmm.
So then you should be writing towards that, you know, there is an issue with what? So all this impact, you know, what does it lead to? You know, what does it go towards? What did you get out of it? What is the result of all this? Is it the impact that you read, financial impact? If it's all about going towards progress, you have to twist everything towards progress, and then you can make your case, you know. So from many of these impact here, they all lead to the delay in construction project. The consequences of delay. You know, the consequences of delay, you're losing money, you are actually company goes into financial problems because of delays, the project dragged for too long, the consumers and the end users don't get the end product that has been specified, you know, over a period of time. So there's a lot of consequences because of all this impact. So just from these consequences, what do you want to study here? Do you want to study from the perspective of how serious are all these impact? Or are you going to be studying like which one caused the most impact? I mean, which one caused the most problem with progress? And what can we do about it? I think you have mind mapping, you know, like this one doesn't show me that map towards what you're going to be doing, you see. So how are you going to write your methodology in that sense? How are you going to tell me how you're going to write your problem statement? Problem statement and methodology, everything has to come from your literature review. This is like the central backbones, you know, and then it moves out from here. So if I read this part, I need to understand that what are you going to be writing in your problem statement? And your problem statement will determine your aim and objective for this particular research project. You say you want to study progress, and the question is where you get it from. So that is the problem statement. The problem statement will show us that, you know, how critical the problem is at the moment, and we need to do something about it. We need to study what. And the aim of this study is to study that. And the objective is the small things that you need to do in order to carry out that aim. The methodology is how do you feel? How do you study this? If you are here, this is applicable to you as well, okay? So that's why I have been emphasizing on literature review. I'm crazy. I need you all to read so many things. It's because if we don't have enough, we cannot write the problem statement. You don't know what to write in the problem statement. If we have the previous research that's been done by other people to carry out on similar research, then it's very difficult for you to come up with a way to fulfill that aim and objective. To do this research, say case study, you can say case study. I can also say do survey, but I ask you what to do survey, and you cannot answer me already. I ask you why you want to do study, you cannot answer me already. to these 14 books that you have. I mean, here says 17, 3 of them are all references. It really means that you write less than 1 page a week in an hour. You ask yourself, is it correct or not? If every day you write 1 page, up until now 12 weeks, you should have gotten what? Your literature review should have been 11 times by 7, 77 page. I give you a discount. Easily we have 50 page by now. Then you write your aim and objective because you've done a good solid literature review. You write your aim and objective, you write your chapter 1. It's going to be just a work week, 1 week kind of work. You can finish it already. 10 page maximum. Methodology, 10, 15 page. Another week kind of work. My requirement from you is do everything in detail. You need to study each and every one of these impact in detail. Can you do that?
Can.
And so from there, you need to tell me from at the end of 2.5 section, you need to give me a summary that shows me the direction of your work already. So if you want to talk about progress, then you talk about progress, then is the relationship between COVID and delays. And how do we rectify this problem with delay? I think we can stick to that, make your life easier. And we don't, you don't even talk about, you're not going to study cost, you're not going to study quality, all these sort of things already. Oh, I already give you a discount. Can you do that?
Can. Doctor, can you repeat just now right before you talk about the cost? Because I think you did you're lagging a bit.
I've got it in recording. Can you just listen back, sir?
Okay.
But I've been talking so long and you said that I'm lagging now. You cannot hear me at all, is it?
No. Just now, when you said I need to study
Just the relationship
on the effects, right?
delay. Can you do that?
The relationship between cost and delay.
What is the result of COVID versus construction progress delay
Yeah.
and forget about cost. I mean, here the impact and everything, you must talk about cost, quality, and all that. Definitely. But at the end of the day, all this will lead to every end of this impact, every end of this impact here, every end of financial impact, whatever impact, at the end of it, you all have to be related to time. Delay. Can you do that?
Can.
So the direction of it is going towards that delay. So at the end of that section 2.5, you must be able to point out clearly that what happened with MCO, all this impact has causes delay issues. And how bad is the delay issues at this point in time? You have to find data for that. Not only Malaysian data, you can find data worldwide.
Okay.
So we are focusing on delay now. And we're trying to find how to improve delays. Whether it's through contractually, whether it's through management, construction management, we're not limiting ourselves because here you are writing all sorts of different type of impact, you see. So construction management impact, or you don't use the word construction management, just write the word management impact. If me, I would prefer to write technical impact first because that is what construction is all about. So technical impact, what is technical impact? Technical impact is not about technology only, you see. Technical impact is about things can be done on site or not, and what is the issues that is technical that is on site. And a lot of this will be talking about quality issues. And all these quality issues will actually be leading toward delays because you need more time to do repair work. You need more time to do rework. A lot of the things has been left over, like piling halfway and then it was MCO. So people need to go back and do something about that, you see. You hear me or not?
Yes.
So and every one of these technical impact point, you have to write it clearly, one paragraph. What are the technical, which technical impact are we talking about? What, how serious it is, and what kind of impact does it bring, and what is the causes for all these impact? Then you write like very clearly, finish one point and move on to the next point, sort of things. And they are all by different authors, you see. Supported by who? Also mentioned that it happens in their, technical is also an issue in their country. It also the issues in their project, for example. So technical impact will lead towards things will be slowed down when things are open up. Yeah. So when things open up, it will have to revamp the schedule. And then then we move on to management impact. So management impact, obviously, some projects are handed over late. So therefore, we have issues with project start time. And then we also have with issue with achieving milestones. And then each of this you need to write in detail, I mean, this is on top of my head that I can come up with the direction that I can pinpoint in. But supposed to be after you read so much, you should have a breakdown, what this section is all about, what each paragraph must be talking about, and then move on to the next point, to the next point, to the next point, to the next point, as many points as possible under, cover management impact, technical impact, management impact, contractor impact. So contractor impact a lot of things, because what does the form cover in Malaysia? All the form covers what? In terms of delay, what does it cover? You have to find literature on that, not just like, yeah, there's a dispute here, a time claim, and then therefore, there's a schedule. Yeah, you can. I mean, like, this is part of the thing, by Ghana. But it doesn't give me anything, I mean, like, because you don't explain things properly. There's no flow. Paragraph must have each section must have a flow, you see. So number of what contractual issues you're saying? Oh, there's a lot of contractual issues. There's a lot of increase in contractual issues. For me, we should be talking about contract is about what? Contract is about, in the impact here is there's coverage that our contract just doesn't even cover MCO. It doesn't cover. So what TWB form, CIDB form, it doesn't. When it talks about delay, when it talks about extension of time, it doesn't cover. So the most contracted impact, you can talk about it in terms of delays and extension of time. So what are the reasons for delays? That is contractual. Is it covered? It is not covered at all. It says disaster, force majeure. But force majeure is about pandemic is not a force majeure in terms of the contract is in Malaysia at this point in time. What about in other countries? Maybe you can mention FIDEC, maybe you can mention NEC, but that is not it all it is, you see. You didn't even cover Malaysian contract. You say you talk about other contract, but what about Malaysian contract? Maybe Malaysian contract do cover, maybe they add in a special section. Have you found out, you see? This is a lot of work to do, That's why I'm talking about it in 12 weeks. That's why I'm talking. about this over and over again, 12 weeks, and you're not producing it for me, you see? Maybe because you guys are looking too lightly in your own country. You think that, you just throw a few pages together, get it over and done with. It's just an assignment. It is not. Why people give you chapter 1, 2, 3 for the one whole semester? Because literature review alone is about to eat you up already. Then we have no correction. You cannot go for data collection in semester 2. Instead of impact, let's just write the word issues. So what are the contractual issues? What are the management issues? What are all the issues that has been created from COVID-19 in the construction industry? Huh? Does the word issues help you to look at it better instead of impact?
Yeah.
So the issues have to be talked about one issue at a time under that section. So all these issues will cause delay. So then you explain construction delay. What is construction delay? How serious is construction delay post-COVID? So your 2.6 should be construction delays, because the front bit here, it leaks towards that word delay, progress, slow, delay in progress. Of course,
Yeah.
the word progress can have a lot of different meaning as well. Progress of work, quality of work is also progress. A lot of things can measure. What is a measurement for progress? And then maybe you can talk about progress first. What is a measurement of progress? And one of the measurement is delay, and delay is, what is delay? What is delay? When delay is a lag in the schedule, it's about incomplete time. You have to define all of this properly first, you see?
But all this is after the impact, after the issues, right?
Supposed to be lah, I mean, like, I'm giving you the whole floor already, It's supposed to be something you have to tell me lah. I'm like seeing all this is like a mess, I have to give you a floor. Roughly give you a floor.
Okay.
So from delay, what are you getting out of delay? So what are your data for delay? What are your consequences of the delay? What impact does it have to the construction industry when all the projects are delayed? You need to write point by point again, not just one paragraph. Delay is going to bring about end users being unable to get out the owner unable to get their houses, and then end user unable to use the bridges and facilities, and then cost overrun, this is how you write, you see. And then that's it, one paragraph. Construction delay consequences. This is how you have been writing. So what I'm saying to you is wrong. You have to write delay cause what problem? One issue with one issue. Supported by this author. The seriousness, the consequences of having a delay in one single project and multiple projects having delays. Government is going to lose money. What do you mean by government is going to lose money? You can write a whole 2-3 paragraph on that. Developer is going to lose money. Owners are going to lose money. What do you mean by losing money because of delay? Cannot hand over on time. Cannot hand over on time means that they cannot claim the money on time. By me saying all this, I'm just giving you some points. Then you need to find literature for all these points. Okay. So from delays,
Okay.
what are you studying here? So what is the relationship here between delays and consequences? I mean, like issues here. So all these issues has caused some delay. Delay is a very, is. So what are you studying here now? How are you going to study this? Are you going to study this from what perspective? What are the number one factor causing delays? Post MCO? Post COVID? Or maybe you can say that, oh, all this, the main thing is, you see that the main thing is contractually there is no proper there's, I mean, like if this kind of delay is unavoidable, so there is no way of rectifying all these delays. I mean, like improve this situation. How to improve this situation? To contract, maybe then we say that, okay, then my direction is to study all the contract documents so that I can improve on the contract documents in order to input in a more reasonable extension of time and delay. So then your direction is out already. So how do you study contract? Then you need to look at all the previous things on contract. I mean, like previous research that talk about studying post-COVID contract, for example. So then you have 5 or 6 different research or 4 or 5 different research talking about contract study. It's how you complete your literature review. So do you know that you have a lot of work to do here?
Yes. I'm aware of.
You are aware, huh? So yeah, so if this is done, one shot is done clear, fast and quick. Your chapter 1 and 3, I guarantee you, it will not give you more than 2 weeks. You can finish it in 2 weeks, okay? Maximum 2 weeks, and you can hand in your report already. But if you still want to ding dong on this and have no direction at all, then we're gonna have an issue until you graduate. Also, you're gonna have the issue, okay?
Okay.
FYP is your work. IDP is a group work, okay? Many of these are group work. So you need to be able to make sure that, you are doing your work, spend time on your work. This at least have to be, you just look at the standard that I give you. Even if you write 1 page a day, you should be looking at about 50 pages at least up to this point in time. So you only have 14 pages. So can we say that you still have about 36 pages to give me? So how are you going to complete these 36 pages in the next 1 week? So averagely, you need to write about 4 to 5 pages a day. Read and write 4 to 5 pages a day, which means at least per day about a 5-hour work here. Because until next week, the maximum until next week, whether this is going to be looking into the shape or not, we have to move you on to chapter 1 and 3. Then you just give me whatever you have for chapter 1 and 3, whatever you think is appropriate for 1 and 3, you hand it in, I just mark accordingly. If really, really bad, then we just have to look at passing you with just a minimum 50, 55, like that. No choice. So, I mean, like as a supervisor, what else can I do, correct or not? I mean, all I can do is I will try my best to pass you guys lah.
Okay.
Not get you to stay for another FYP 1 lah. I mean, like you all are good students, I don't have a heart to let you stay for FYP 1. Then by the time you finish your exam, we have about a month before the SEM starts. You have to come back and redo this all over again. That is plan B lah, huh? If we are going for plan B, you don't even need to see me already until end of the semester. You just have to give me whatever. I have no eyes to see already.
I think I'll try to go through first.
Mm.
Not go with plan B.
Okay. So you know you're short of 50 page lah, huh? You 自己 tuck some lah, huh? Yeah.
Okay.
50 pages, you got 14 now, you have another 36 pages to give me. Just a guideline, just a guideline. I'm not saying you have to write 50 page, but this is the kind of guideline that I'm looking at. A literature review for my project, easily, always we're looking at about 40, 50 pages for literature review. You know, chapter one is still alone, all add up. Usually my students will give me about, a good student now will end up with about 70 pages, 60 pages at least. I mean, if you like to have pages as a guideline, I'm giving you some pages guideline now.
Okay.
So you are ding-donging around the 10, 14 pages. This is something that I'll be looking at in a week 2 or 3, you see. If this work here is week 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, I still can accept it. But not in week 4. But I've already given you the direction now. It's already something that from here, I'm looking at your work. I've already sort of mapped out a direction for you. So now it's about you, how well are you going to fill up the blanks, okay?
Okay.
Right, huh? So you take a look at your work first, and then I will move on to Charlene first, huh?
Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yeah. Charlene, are you here yet? Okay, Charlene, you here, huh?
Hello.